Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're talking about brakes and tire pressure. First, we're going to start explaining some concepts about brakes. Now, in most vehicles today, all four wheels are fitted with disc brakes, but disc brakes have been around a long time. The first car to use disc brakes was made by Frederick William Lanchester back in 1902, and over 100 years later, we're still using them today. I guess if it ain't brake, don't fix it. Wait, that's not how it goes. Anyway, disc brakes send fluid to what's called a caliper, which is this fancy little thing right here. Now the caliper has two pistons inside. Those pistons are pushed together and push together your brake pads, which grab onto that disc. And as the pistons push together, eventually stops the disc, which is connected to your wheel. Pretty cool, huh? Now just imagine trying to do that with your bare hands. Yikes. Hot. Now the other type of brakes you might also come across are drum brakes. In this case, the pistons are on the inside, and they push out on what are called brake shoes, inside of the drum, which fits over top. Yes, you could say that they tell the car to heel. Never mind. Drum brakes are far less common today because disc brakes are easy to service, and they're also a lot better at stopping the vehicle. Now, for several decades, cars have been coming out with a system known as ABS, or Anti-Lock Brake System. People were having the problem of their car's brakes grabbing on too tightly to that drum or disc and locking the wheels. When your brakes lock, the wheels lose grip with the road, and your car can just go out of control. ABS was developed to pump the fluid to the caliper using a pulsing method. Now that you understand how the brakes are working inside your car, we can now go and discuss how to upgrade and tune them in Forza Horizon 3. So let's get started. We have our Nissan Silvia in the festival site, and we're going to start by going to the upgrade shop. You'll need to upgrade the brakes in order to tune them. Once you're in the upgrade shop, go to the right and highlight Platform and Handling. As you can see, brakes are the first highlighted upgrade. So let's go in here and see what options we have. Forza breaks down upgrades into 3 tiers: Street, Sport, and Race. In order to unlock tuning for the brakes, you'll need to install Race brakes. Once you've done that, let's go back to the upgrade shop and go over to Tires and Rims. As I said in the introduction to this series, you do not need to upgrade tires in order to adjust the tire pressure. We're still going to talk about the different types of tires briefly though. Open Tire Compound, and here you'll see the different types of tires. There is Street, Sport, Race, and you'll see that we also have Horizon Race tires, Rally tires, and finally the Hot Wheels Race tires. Changing the tire compound increases the amount of grip the car has. This can be very helpful in higher speed races. I currently have the Horizon Race tires installed on the Silvia. Let's get out of the upgrade shop and head over to the tuning shop to begin tuning the brakes. Here in the tune shop, you can see that under brakes, we only have 2 fields in which to edit. The top field is for brake balance, and the lower field is for brake pressure. The balance adjusts how much power will be given to the front brakes compared to the rear brakes. This is also known as brake bias. Adjusting the brake balance to the right increases brake power on the front, which increases stability, but can lead to minimized turning ability, or what they call understeer. This can be helpful if the car you're driving is rear-wheel drive. Adjusting the brake balance to the left and giving the rear brakes more power will give your car increased oversteer, but may reduce stability in turns and could lead to spinouts. This can be helpful on front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive cars, and cars built for drifting. Either way, it's cautioned to avoid extremes when tuning, as this can have an adverse effect on performance. Below this, you'll see brake pressure. This controls how much power or force we want to grab with when those calipers engage. By default, you'll be set to 100% brake pressure. Decreasing the brake pressure will increase how much pedal or trigger is required to lock the brakes. Since controllers and pedals stop at a certain point, you won't be able to fully lock the brakes. If you increase the brake pressure, This will make the brakes a bit more touchy, and you may risk losing control while racing. Now you might be wondering, how do I tune them? What is the perfect setup? How you tune your brakes is based on a couple factors. Driving style has a large factor in how you should adjust them. For instance, when I drive around corners, I tap the left trigger in order to pulse the brakes. I found that it can help you get around corners with ease and without loss of speed. It also helps prevent those brakes from locking up. If you like pressing hard on the brake, that's fine. You'll probably want to reduce the overall brake pressure to make sure that your tires don't lock, and then keep your balance at the front. When approaching a turn at high speeds, it's important to brake ahead of the turn and release them before turning your car. With or without ABS or anti-lock brakes, your car's tires only roll one way. But the lateral G-force or side-to-side force is going to put pressure on them while you're in the turn. So it's useful to slow down and approach your turn with a half-engaged gas pedal or trigger, and then you can launch perfectly out the other side. Whew! So that was brakes. Now let's talk about tire pressure. Tires operate differently at different temperatures. They also operate differently depending on how much surface area is in contact with the ground. When your tires are deflated, they sit more flat on the ground. Without enough pressure, your tires will look like they're completely flat, and they taper outward as they come in contact with the ground. This can be a good thing or a bad thing. To determine the best tire pressure, it's going to come down to the type of surface and the type of weather. When racing in dry asphalt events, it's good to let the tire pressure out a little bit. This increases the surface area of the tire, which disperses the vehicle's weight over a larger area and increases grip in the warmer, drier climates. Lower tire pressure can also be an advantage in cross-country and mixed surface events as well. With a lower tire pressure, your tires are able to mold themselves around the uneven surface and maintain the best possible grip. If you're racing in wet, icy, or snowy conditions, it's good to increase the tire pressure. This will raise the sidewalls of your tire up and reduce the surface area under the tire. This focuses the weight of the car on a smaller area and helps your tire push the snow or water away like a wedge. This helps the tire dig into the ground underneath and give you the utmost grip. Now, full disclaimer, people, I'm not the best racer out there. I know. It pains me too. But what I've learned in all my years playing Forza is that it's about the passion for racing and for cars that keeps this community alive. So please feel free to comment on the videos. Let me know what you think. In the next video, we're going to go over gearing and differentials. It'll be a video transmission for your car's transmission. Eh? So thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. Bye for now. So, as I promised, I would introduce you to my two dogs. Here, we have Millie. She has little floppy ears. And she really wants to play. She is a year old. We brought her home right when she was about, I want to say, 6 weeks old, maybe 5 weeks old. I think we were a little impatient. But she has been our little shadow ever since. And yeah, so this is Millie. Now this is Frankie. He's the cuddle one. They both clearly love us. There's no doubt about it. But he is 3 years old, and we brought him home when he was only about a year old. He lived with another family, and their situation changed, and so they had to rehome him, but he's been a good little best friend ever since. A little hairy best friend. Isn't that right? Yeah, I think he agrees. Anyways, YouTube, thank you so much for coming to my channel. Make sure to like and subscribe, and come back for more videos, and we will keep these guys in the loop. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? You say goodbye. You say goodbye, Frank. Bye for now.